All right, today we're diving into something fundamental, building the actual backbone of a solid web page. We're going to explore how HTML's header and footer tags create that clean, organized structure you see on pretty much every website you visit. Let's get right into it.
You know when you land on a web page and you just instinctively know where the logo is, where the navigation is, where to find the contact info at the bottom? Well, that's not an accident. It's all thanks to a well-defined structure that guides both you and the web browser.
And the best way to really get this is to build it ourselves. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a simple web page skeleton from scratch, showing you exactly how these key pieces, the header, the main content, and the footer, all snap together.
So, to kick things off, we need to talk about the core concept that makes all of this possible in the first place.
And that key concept is semantic tags. See, these aren't just generic boxes. Tags like header and footer actually tell the browser what kind of content they're holding. This is so important for things like accessibility tools that read the page aloud, for search engines trying to understand your site, and honestly, for other developers who might have to look at your code later.
At the most basic level, it's really straightforward. The header is for all the introductory stuff you find at the top of a page. You know, titles, logos, navigation menus. And the footer, that's for all the concluding stuff at the very bottom, like author info, copyright notices, and contact links.
So how does this all fit together on an actual page? Well, think of your web page's body as the entire canvas. Inside that canvas, you place these three main containers in order. Header right at the top, main for all your primary content, and footer at the very end. This simple, logical layout is the foundation of just about every modern website.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and actually start building our header.
So first thing we're going to do is put an H1 tag inside our header container. The H1 is always your most important top-level heading. So putting the main title of your site like, Welcome to Brocode, right inside the header makes perfect sense.
And boom, just like that. Those two simple lines of code give us a nice, clean title right at the top of our page. It's a simple start, but a really powerful one.
But of course, a header is usually more than just a title, right? We can easily add some navigation links using basic hyperlinks. And to get that clean visual separation line you see there, we just have to drop in a simple horizontal rule tag, which is just HR.
And there we go, a fully functional header with the title and the main navigation. Now that the top of our page is all set, let's start filling in the middle section.
All right, it's time to add our main content. And this is all going to go right inside that main container we set up.
So inside the main tags, we're adding a smaller H4 subheading, an image, and a paragraph of lorem ipsum, which, if you haven't seen it, is just the standard placeholder text that designers use to see how the layout looks before the real content is ready.
And look at that. Our web page is really starting to look like an actual page now. The main content area is filled out, and it's sitting perfectly between the header we just built and the spot where our footer is about to go.
Okay, we're on the home stretch. Let's finish up our page's skeleton by building out the footer. A typical footer usually follows a few simple steps. We'll add another horizontal rule for that nice visual break. We'll put in some author info, add a copyright notice, and then create a link for people to send an email. Now, this brings us to two super handy little bits of HTML you'll use all the time. To get that CO copyright symbol to show up, you just use the special code and copy. And to make a link that automatically opens someone's email app, you just set the link's destination to mail to, followed by the email address. Super useful. And there it is, our finished footer. It's clean, it's got all the essential info, and it's all neatly wrapped up inside those footer tags at the bottom of the page. So we've built our page, but you might be sitting there thinking, okay, but why? Why go through all the trouble of using these specific container tags? Well, let's look at the real power this structure gives you.
This is where it gets really cool and efficient. Because we grouped everything into containers, we can style an entire section all at once. Now, here, we're just using a quick inline style to change the background color. In a real project, you'd probably use a separate CSS file. But this is a great way to show you how easily you can target that entire header in one go.
And here is the payoff. With just one style rule for the header and one for the footer, we've totally changed the look of both sections. Just imagine trying to add a background color to every single link and title individually. What a headache! That is exactly what these containers help us avoid.
So really, it all boils down to two huge benefits. First, these tags keep your code organized and meaningful, which is great for you and for web browsers. And second,
They make styling your page with CSS so much easier and more powerful. So there you have it. You've now got the blueprint for building clean, professional, well-structured web pages. You understand the what and the why behind headers, footers, and main content areas. The only question left is, what awesome thing are you going to build with this foundation? Thanks for watching.